I want to apologize for the delay. We're going to go from 10 o'clock right now, even though we're 3 minutes a little ahead, to 12. Okay, I want to apologize. I want to thank those of you who called in, you listened in. I'm still posting as I'm talking to you. I had a little bit of a delay with some deliveries I had to make. As you know, I'm in the water business, and sometimes, people request deliveries, and I ride along with people and make sure, things get done. Right? Free will and destiny. Right? The word destiny is actually short for destination, meaning a place where you will arrive. Right? A place where you will end up. A place where you're destined to be. Everybody has a place in which they are destined to end up, a place where they are destined to be. Right? There is no free will. Right? There is no such thing as free will. Right? You think that you're making a choice in the world, right? And you think that you choose to do positive and negative, right? I can choose not to do this. I can choose not to do that, right? But in all actuality, whatever choice you make, it was predestined to happen because that's how it happens. There's no alter side or no plan B to this thing. There is no, well, if I would have did this, I would have did it this way, or I would have did it that way, or I would have did it this way. The choice you make is the choice you make. That's it. That's governed by higher principalities, depending on who you are, right? Now, there are certain forces that intervene in the choices you make. There are certain forces and certain people or beings, advanced people, depending on how open you are to reception and how important you are to a certain incident in life or a certain era in life. Certain forces alter certain things in your life. But even that's predestined. Leaders are born, they're not made. Leaders are born, they're not made. There's no such thing as, I'm going to make myself into a leader. There's no such thing as that. Either you're a born leader or you're not. You got a lot of people who try to be leaders, especially within the so-called, quote-unquote, black community, who want to be leaders, right? Who think that they have what it takes to be leaders, but they're not leaders, right? They sit around and they aspire to be leaders only because they see somebody else who's a born leader, and they want to be in that person's shoes. They feel as though they're meant to lead, right? And everybody's not meant to lead. Everybody's not, a leader, right? Certain people are followers, right? Certain people look to others who have a strong connection, a strong reception, a strong sense of logic, common sense, and what's right and what's wrong, or what's logical and what's illogical, and they look to these people. Everybody doesn't have that within them, just like everybody doesn't have common sense within them. No, certain people are governed mentally for a reason, right? Some on a higher level, some on a lower level, but we all playing a part in how things are, how things are supposed to pan out, right? I give the example of black people here in America in slavery, see, because black people are always talking about, how we got over here was messed up, and, the white man enslaved our people, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third, and, and I always said that it was meant for our people to be here. In fact, we were here before the white man was here in America. We were supposed to be the first ones building a society here, right? And it was destined that our evolution would take place here in America. The evolution of our people would take place here in America. Not in Africa, not in the Congo or these other places, not in the East, not in the West. It was meant to take place here it was meant to take place here in the West, not in the East, right? Not in Africa, not in Egypt. Our evolution was meant to be taken or was meant to come about here, right? Because we were supposed to set up a nation here. And because we did not do that, right? Because we cut away from what was supposed to be the plan, right? Even that was destined that we would cut away. Even that was destined that we would lose sight and lose focus, right? And mix our seed and cut our memory and go through a punishment here in America under other people. It happened because look what happened. The way it happened is how it happened. You can't say that, oh, well, if we would have did this, it would have been like this, or it would, or that it would have been an alternate ending. No, it's no alternate ending to this. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist in no parallel universe, nothing like that. It was meant to be the way it happened. Brother got on me, and that's what inspired me to do the show. When 5% of brother was talking, we were talking about Malcolm X, and I said that Malcolm X was born 1925, February 21st, February, what was it? February. He was born in May 19th, 1925, and he was assassinated on February 21st, 1965. Right? And I said that was his time reference, as Dr. York used to say back in the day, time reference. Everyone has a time reference. Everybody has a set date on when you're born and when you're going to leave here, when you're going to pass away. Everybody has a set time date. I don't care how it happens. I don't care if you get shot up. If it's not your time to go, then you're going to survive that. I don't care if you get stabbed up. I don't care if you catch a head cold. I don't care if you fall in the shower. If it's meant for you to pass away on that day, then you're going to go. Why? Because there's no alternate endings to this. There's no alternate current to this. There's only one direct current. It's not like electricity in that sense. There's only a direct current. And a direct current means a direct outcome. Because based on the part you play in this picture called life, that decides whether or not you come here at a certain time and whether you leave here at a certain time. Right? That's already been decided. It's been decided who's going to be leaders. It's been decided who's not going to be leaders. It's decided who's going to be the small-minded people versus those who are going to be the bigger people. The small fish in the pond versus those who will be the big fish in the pond. Right? Destiny. If you're meant to die on a certain day, and like that movie Final Destination, if you're destined to die, if that's your destiny or your destination to end up at that point in your life, then that's where you're gonna go. People sit up here and say, "Oh, this is especially with the black man." He goes, "Oh, well, this the life that we was given out here. The black man, and the black woman, we just like this in America because the white man this and the white man that, and what can we do? We the victims. We under circumstance, right? Certain people are destined to think on that level. Certain people are destined to think on that level, and others are destined to think above that level. Others are destined to think above it. The majority of the people, like I said, are not meant to evolve on a higher level mentally. Right? Try as they must. They get caught up on the petty things. Right? I know for a fact, and it was just proven to me, how real this is tonight in a personal interaction I had with one of the brothers. Right? There's a brother, and I'm going to share this with you because it just happened. And it kind of freaked me out. It freaked me out because, I didn't expect, I knew it would happen, but then I just didn't know how. There was a brother, when I asked, I told all the brothers in a uniformed way that that the brothers are going to, shave their facial hair. Right? And one brother I saw, he had this thing where he was rebellious toward it, right? And the funny thing that happened with this is that I saw the rebelliousness of this brother who was with me, you know, in and out. I saw the brother, he was loyal, and he was with me from day in, day out. But then I had a dream that the brother would be rebellious and that he would leave, or that he would disassociate, or that he would do something we didn't ask, that we asked him not to do in the state. And sure as hell, tonight as I'm driving, he dropped a bomb on me about how he didn't want to clean his face up like all the other brothers. I said, we're a uniform group. We're a collective, right? We're a collective. We're a uniform group. There's no individuality here. I've been talking for the longest about no individuality. We all are one. We look the same. The brothers don't wear no facial hair, no mustache, no chin hair, no nothing. I said, we are a collective. We are a uniform. One. Oh, but I want to wear a mustache and no chin hair. No, you can't do that. You know, I told him I'd think it over, but I thought it over, and my answer is goodbye. I must say goodbye to you. Why? Because, you know, not for nothing, if people see that, you know, there's a break in the rank, or a break in the collectiveness, then it sends other people to a mindset, whereas, you know, this is not a collective, it's an individuality here. There's no individuality, there's no I in a group. There's the group, that's it. And when nothing else remains, that's what's going to be left, the group, the collective. So I have to bid goodbye to that brother. It's not personal. I had to bid that brother goodbye. And I got love for that brother. Because, like I said, he was with us the longest. You know? I can't have you in my presence. I don't want you to be a part of nothing I'm doing. And it saddens me. And I'm not being emotional about it, but I said I wanted to share it because that was and what reason why I brought this story up is because that was destined to happen. That was his destination, that he would only be with me for a short while. And I had this dream over a year ago, and everything was going good. The brother was coming and whatnot. I had this dream. You know, I had to have it for a reason. And that's how things work. I was like, oh, it must have been something, you know, maybe I ate the wrong things. He wouldn't have did that. The brother wouldn't have came out like that. You know, that brother's loyal. But sometimes you're given visions. When you're in tune, when you're in reception, you're given visions of things to come, people around you. You're given visions. And it's up to you to take that and heed that. You know, heed that vision, right? Take it in and come about and, you know, find out, like, what is this? You know, it's giving you signs. You know? It's giving you signs. It's giving you signs of things to come. You know? And we have signs of things to come all the time. We're given visions all the time. Destiny comes to us all the time. You meet women in your life. The man meets the woman who's going to be his wife, right? And those women who come into your life and they leave your life, or those men who come into your life and they leave your life, and they're only there for a short period of time, right? Because they're not built for what's coming next. They're not built for the future. They're not built for this stronger mind reception, right? They're not built for it. It takes a soldier. It takes a soldier to walk a path, a straight, narrow path. Undisciplined people walk in different as individuals. Undisciplined people walk as individuals in different paths and whatnot. But it takes a strong mind to collectively move together. put away their egos, put away their individuality, their I-ism, to move forward. It takes a strong people to do that. If you're not able to do that, then you definitely can't be a part of anything greater to come. All Amen beings move as a collective. We move as a collective, not as individuals. There's no I in group. You don't have free will, right? Even in the society where you think you got choices, you don't have any choices here. What choices do you think you have here? Because the minute somebody puts something in front of your face, right, whether it be man, the white man, the Arab, the East Indian, whether it was religion, whether it was spirituality, whether it was philosophy, his philosophies, metaphysics, masonry, whatever he put in your face, Pan-Africanism, when he called you an African, and you think because you made a choice, you actually think that you were free to make that choice? You think you was free to make that choice? No, you wasn't free to make that choice. You wasn't free to make that choice because whatever you chose, it belonged to somebody else anyway. You chose what they wanted you to choose. It was always rigged. The game was rigged already. The people that put these things out for you to capture your imagination, to capture the imagery of your mind, they did that for that purpose, which was to control you mentally, to map out your destination, where you would arrive, right? Your destiny. They control in this society what you're going to eat, when you're going to work, how much money you're going to make. That's all controlled, right? That's all controlled, right? The only time we started to really make our own choice, right, and even that was somewhat governed, right, because it was something in us, right? Only time we chose on a higher level, or we started to make a choice, is when we started accepting this knowledge here, something that was outside the box, when you chose to walk outside the box. But even then, there's something in you that makes you or gravitates you toward that intelligence, which we refer to as mental. Something in it that gravitates you out of the circle, right? That's even still governing you. That's even still destiny that calls you to it. Just like it was destiny for that brother to go back into the world, to lose that brother. Ain't no halfway in and no halfway out. Either you in or you not, or you out. That's how this thing works. That's destiny. His destination was the world. Our destiny is the state. Right? Everything that happens, it was meant to happen. And I'm going to say this, that, with the brother, I was talking to the 5% brother, and he said to me, I got a choice in my life. I can make choices. I said, no, you don't have no choice. You really don't have any choice in life. Because if you really have a choice in life, then make the choice to get yourself out of the state you in. Get your people out of the state they in. But it was destined for our people, black people, to go through what they went through under the white man and the Arab and all these other people, because we're hard-headed people. We don't get it, right? So when you're hard-headed people, when we're people that don't want to listen, when we're people that don't want to pay heed to something, then we allow to let anything, we're open to let anything happen to us. Just like you're open to receive higher intelligence to move you forward, right? You're open to also receive punishment, disconnection mentally, right? You're open, right? You're being pulled in one direction or the other, right? Now, if you are in tune, right, then you will move upward, right? It's a natural thing to you. It's a natural swim upstream. It's in you by nature to move upward, to part yourself from everything that's going on in the world, to disconnect yourself. Like I said, people came in the state of mental, and people will come into it. It's in you. That almond genetic is in you, and you're destined to come to this. Those people who are of the world, the ones who are of the elect, the ones who are of the elect, they're going to come. The ones who are not, they're going to be on the outside. They're going to come with silly excuses and nonsense, right? Because they really don't think this is real. They believe the world is real. So they were already destined to end up in the world, right? To be doing nothing, to be connected with nothing. They were destined to do that, right? And if it's destined for them to come back, they'll come back. And if it's destined for them to be accepted, they'll be accepted again. Their place is going to still be there. You can break up with a woman, for example, or break up with a man, right? And somewhere down the line, 20 years later, 30 years later, 10, I don't care what it is, if you meant to be with that person, then you're going to be with that person again. You're going to be with that person, right? You're going to be with that person again, if that's meant. If you're not meant to be with that person, if you're not meant to be with that person or whatever the case may be, then you'll never see that person again, right? Destiny, right? That is what it's all about. You're destined to be someplace. You're predetermined to be someplace all the time. I said the people who came into the state of Mentel, right? You had the people that's coming to the state of Mentel who are attracted to this broadcast, who are attracted to state of Mentel. You have something in you. You were born with something in you that the rest of the so-called quote-unquote black race was not, right? You were born with something extra in you. And that extra thing in you is in your genetic, in your DNA, and it will be continually in your genetic, in your DNA that will pull you. Like for example, my assistant, Mr. Isaac Menjaz, right? Mr. Isaac Menjaz, who's on the line. I see you, Ike. I'm gonna pick up your call. My assistant, Isaac Menjaz, right? His father was in the Nation of Islam, right? And he ends up coming. He wasn't really, connected to his father. His father passed away when he was young, and he ends up coming to the state of Mentel. And I said to him, the reason why you came to the state of Mentel because it was in you to be a part of a collective of supreme people or people who are seeking supremacy, mental supremacy, to come together. It was meant for you to be drawn to a group like that. I said the old Nation of Islam, they were seeking mental supremacy to govern themselves or govern their mental or have a government, right, amongst themselves. So, of course, because you are of your father's mental seed, you are of your father's mental seed, that's what drew you, right? That's what drew you to the state of Mentel because you recognize that. Right? It's in you. It's in your DNA to be drawn to a body of people who look like you, who are looking to govern themselves on a supreme state. And you got those who are not. I'm going to take a call. 718.
Hey, what's up, Ben? What's going on, man?
All right.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Yeah, man, it was kind of a shock to me too, man. After we went out promoting today, man, and
no, it really wasn't
been with
to
us the longest, and I mean, I know, I kind of know if you know something would happen in the future, but being that I figured that we was kind of molding him. He's a young brother in college, and
like I said,
it had to be something more than what he was saying, but
You said, you know what? Yeah, it's so funny. You said, I show you we coming in tune, brother, because
you think so too.
Armel said the same thing. It's something more to that. I mean,
it has to
you
be
know what? And you know what it is really. God and the devil got taken out of the equation. That's really what I think it is. God and the devil got taken out of the equation. Right? Once God and I had to bid them. There's no coming back. You know what I'm saying? There's no hanging around. There's no hanging around because we not here to hang around. Right? The state is being formed as the foundation is going in. The bricks are going into the ground. The foundation is everybody's being cemented. So that's what it is. These are made guys. Right. These are people that's coming in. That's it. You know what I'm saying? More people are going to come. I told you, as the more realer it gets, the more unreal people are going to show themselves to be.
Yeah, you're right.
And it could be, I don't care who it is. It could be the most, great brother or sister and whatnot. The more realer it becomes, the more unreal people are going to show themselves to be. This is real. Wow. I had this dream a year ago that he would do that. I mean, it shocked the hell out of me, but then it didn't shock me. Like I said, I just didn't know when. I had the dream for a reason.
Wow. Yeah.
You know?
Shock. I mean, me too, man.
Yeah.
And like you said, the people, that is, that's going to stick with is going to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm here, man. So.
You guys were born into this, man. You were already born into this before you came into this. This is the thing. This was your destination. The state of Mentel was your destination. You brothers out here, you sisters out here, you were already here mentally. Now it's for you to come here physically into the state. You were already in a state of mental. You were already part of this intellectual community that's being formed.
Right.
Not the intellectual community no more, but the mental-lectual community that's being formed, this future community of highly intelligent people, this almond race. You were already in it. You were already those, what we call Z people. You were already the Z people.
Like you said, my father, he was in the Nation of Islam, and they had the Brotherhood over there in Coney Island, which he was when he was young. And, there was a community over there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody looked out for each other. They bought one of the projects, and they didn't allow people to sell drugs or anything over there. So there was a real brotherhood, between, with the old Nation of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I see the same structure in the state of Mentel.
Yeah.
That's happening here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like I said, that's already laid out mentally. The state was already laid out. All we doing, like I said, when I explained to the 5% brother, I said, listen, this was already destined. This was already destined to be out. It was destined for me because, I'm just taking a page out of my own book of life where I'm supposed to, if there's a such thing as free will or whatever the case may be, or there's not a such thing as being destined. I was supposed to be, I was out in the streets and committing crimes and doing all kind of negativity, back in the day, and I'm supposed to, for certain things I've been involved in, I'm supposed to be in jail for a long time. But I never, I tasted jail for a short period of time, but I never went to prison. There's a difference between jail and prison. So I was supposed to be in prison for the majority, the remainder of my life for a lot of the things I've been involved in. I'm not going to go further than that. But, that was years ago, over 15-something years ago. But obviously my almond genetic kicked in, and those almond beings or those future almonds had a plan for me to put me in firm alignment with what I'm doing today and raising the almond race up and receiving this this knowledge of intellect to raise our people up, because we in the last stage right now. We're going through an evolution. A separation is taking place, and for like I said, that's why I don't play. I'm not out here to play with this, because I understand that this was my destiny. I don't play with this.
Yeah, because I could have gave
the brother a pass, but like I said, I'm not giving nobody a pass. Either you hear and you're following orders, right? Because Almond gives orders. This is an army. Almond gives orders, right? All the Almond beings receive orders. Like I said, when they talk about an order, it's the same thing when they call the Masonic order, this order or this larger order. All that is orders, because order, it denotes like a army or a military or a uniformed group of people that are following instruction. So if you're following instruction, we following instruction from on high, then we following instructions in this state right here, in this submental state as well. We have to stay tight as a unit even in this submental state, because all we have is each other to depend on. That's all we're going to find out that we have in this last day.
But
if people up here acting like individuals, but if people acting like individuals, you understand, then you know what? Then the unity is not there. You're not part. You want to be one on your own. So go be on your own.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Go be one on your own.
Because if you're working with somebody, your boss wants things done a certain way. That's the way he wants it, because that's the person's the boss.
Yeah.
And your job is to follow orders.
Exactly.
I said,
Yeah. Go ahead. I said to the brother, I wish the brother well. I wish the brother well. I wish him well in his endeavors in school and things like that. But
no, I do too.
Yeah, I wish him well. But we got to part ways. You can't come amongst us. You know what I mean? Because you was amongst us already. You can't come back amongst us. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't come back amongst us. And I tell people all the time. I said, it's not about money. It's not about oh, I want to be a leader and whatnot. Certain people, I didn't want to lead anything. You understand? That's the true sign of a leader. The true sign of a leader is one who didn't want to lead, but he was destined to lead. The people who want to lead, who feel like they leaders, those are the people who are not real leaders. The leaders, the people who always are thrust in the position, who are born to do this, that's their job. They're going to die on their legs, standing up straight, leading, to the day they drop down to the floor and die. You understand? And then they'll be raised again, because it's in them, it's in their genetics mentally to lead, just like it's in all of you to be part of that almond race, so that almond genetic. Y'all, the message went out, the call went out, and it's picking up. Y'all picking up that reception as well through my voice. You picking that reception up, and you're coming.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it is.
And we got big plans. The state of Intel is just getting the trains just rolling. It's going to be a lot of steam coming to it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's no such thing. Like I said, the black man want to believe that he has free will in the society. You don't have free will in society. You doing what people tell you to do. There's nothing a black man could call in and say, oh, well, I made the choice. The only time you made the choice is when you even like I said, even that was predestined for you to make the choice when you start thinking outside the box and you made this choice here. But everything that the black man is doing here in the society, you following the white man. You following him. You're not making no choice. You following him on a submental level. I don't care if you going to. I don't care what you doing in the society. You following him. You understand? For the black woman, you think I chose to do it. I believe this. You don't believe nothing. You believe what the white man gave you to believe. That's all you believe. You're nothing but a remote control slave. You understand? You're nothing but a remote control slave. That's all. You're a remote control slave, and you're following out what other people told you to follow out and do.
I'm gonna let you get back to the broadcast then, and Minzak, that's peace in the Mentelic language, new word.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
All right, Minzak.
Minzak. Brother Isaac Minjaz. True soldier. Reality is, like I said, where you end up in the world, where you come about in the world. I didn't open up the chat as of yet. I don't know. There's a problem with the chat. I don't know why it's not opening up, but it says flash chat. I don't know why it's not opening up. I don't know what new thing they got going in. I don't know what new thing they got going here where, they're supposed to be opening up the chat room. I don't know how this thing works, so I don't know. They have a software type of thing with the chat. It's always something new. I don't know. People are always trying to, update stuff, and they should just leave it alone, But I don't know. Maybe I probably won't open up the chat because, like I said, we always seem to have the submentals. They usually come in at this time and do what they do, So maybe I won't open up the chat. I don't know yet, I don't know. Maybe it's not meant for me to open it up because, like I said, a lot of foolishness gets spread in the chat. You got people who come in there, and I open it up because I want people to, be able to talk and associate themselves and, things like that. But, for lack of a better, if it doesn't open it, I know those of you who are listening, because we started the broadcast late at 10 because I had to do a run, and I wanted to talk in depth about this, right? Understand that this planet and everything that you're doing here was meant to be in a structured order, right? Everything was meant to be in a structured order, even you. You're meant to operate at a certain level, right? Like rows of ducks. You're meant to flow in a certain stream, right? Even when, you go against what it is that's being done, right? You're considered abnormal, right? When you go against something, and even in that, even in your genetic makeup, going even further back, there's that abnormality that exists within your DNA or your genetic makeup. So all this is predestined. When you see people who, like you say, you'll say, oh, that person, he was raised by a good mother, he was raised by a good father. Why he became, they had money, this, that, and the third, but they end up becoming drug dealers, murderers, killers, right? That was already destined for that person to do that. That was already in their DNA to do that. You better start checking the people you lay down with. Check their bloodline. Check their genetic history. Because you don't know what's in their DNA for them to produce those kind of people. You don't know that. You don't know what's in their DNA to produce that. You understand? You don't know what is in them to have that kind of mentality come out where, you know, like I said, you have, you like, oh, well, you know, they made the choice to be alcoholics and drug addicts and stuff like that, and this, that, and the third. Yeah. Either you come to a path in life or you know, a road in life where you have the crossroads where, you know, they say, oh, you know, why don't that person make the right decision or the right choice and whatnot? Either I'm going to be a loser or I'm going to be a winner, right? Now, to a person who is predestined to lose, right, who's not strong enough to try and think beyond that, right, because that's the exercise in itself, right? If you come from a bunch of losers or people who have not succeeded in life, then what does that do? Either it's going to produce in you a loser mentality, or it's going to produce in you a strong will to survive or want to survive. And things will start coming into your life and altering your life to show where you start winning in life if you really want it. But you got people, because it really, with people, there's no real right and wrong. That's why I said we get beyond the right and wrong things, right? Because you got people, what I mean by this is you got people who find just as many ways to stand up for stupidity and wrong things. They'll find, like I said, you can sit up here and I can explain to people, well, you shouldn't smoke weed, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this. And you explain to them why, but still they go right back to that mentality. They go right back to smoking weed. Why? You'd be like, I showed you the good way, the best way to keep your body healthy, not smoke weed, don't do this, don't do that. But they go back to smoking weed. Why? Because it's destined for them to be like that. There's nothing you could do about that. For them, that's the right thing, even though it's the path of destruction. To them, that's the right way. There's nothing you could do about it. They'll justify it in so many different levels because to them, that's the right way. In their mind, what they're doing, gang banging like the little homies in the hood. You tell them, yeah, well, you know what? Or you could gang bang and whatnot, and you be like, you know, some of them are going to listen, and it was destined for them to listen. It was their destination not to end up dead in the damn street. It was their destiny not to end up in the street, shot up at 16, 17 years old. But then some of them you could talk to and be like, you know, they might be doing good for a while, and, you know, next thing you know, they head back to the hood. They go away for a while, and next thing you know, they head back to the hood, and they get killed in the street. Right? They get killed in the street. Why? Because that was destined for them to die like that. See? There's nothing you could do about that. You can try and intervene, but the only intervention is going to come if these people are destined to do something more. If they're destined or they have a destination to be at a certain level or go beyond where they are, then they're going to do more. If they're not destined to make it, then they're not going to make it. Right? They're not going to make it. You got people that flip around every day. You could take the most bummiest crackhead or whore in the street that's on her knees and shooting up dope and heroin and all this other stuff. Next thing you know, she's going to school and becoming something just clicking her to stop. Right? An explosion happens. Mental explosion happens. Right? And she decides she wants to change her life. She get up off her knees. She stop being a whore. She'll go to law school and she'll become a lawyer or go to school and become a doctor. She decided to change her life. She runs into somebody. She hears a speech somewhere. She might hear a brother teaching on the street or a sister or somebody who carrying himself a certain way, and that person resonates something in the minds of those people. That was destined to happen. There was no choice for her to take another road. Her time to stop being a whore, stop being a crackhead, or whatever she's doing was meant to stop. Stop being a loose woman was meant to stop, and she was meant to move on to a higher level. She wanted it. So the transition was easy for her. Then you got certain people, no matter what they do, That voice is calling them, calling them backwards into the world, right? Back into the material to become part of that material state. And they'll be doing good for a while. Next thing you know, they dead in the street. Right? So you go out. Like I said, he might come back visiting, but boy, the grandmother, boy, don't go on that block. Right? Or your father, son, don't go over there, or don't go over there. I'm just going over there to see my friend. Next thing, he's shot dead in the street. Right? Because destiny called him back. That was his final destination. Destiny called him to die on that day in that spot. Right? It's already laid out. Like I said, it's already laid out. So when I take this seriously, when people come to me and say, "Oh, you've been encouraged, you trying to be a leader, you trying to start a cult, you trying to start," I said, hell no. I said, because if I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't. Be honest with you. If I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be up here taking abuse. I got to take abuse from Negroes. Not that I care, because I've developed a thick skin when it comes to that. Taking abuse from Negroes, cutting off people that I care about and I love. Got love for them. Cutting off people, disassociating myself with people, cleaning my face off, because I was given the order to clean my face off. Telling other brothers to clean themselves or clean their faces off. We marching forward. You understand? I didn't want, this wouldn't have been my choice. I tell you, if it was up to me, right? That's why I tell people it's not personal with me when people tell me, "Oh, you offending the black race by how you talk." I said, well, you don't make it personal with me, because personally I wouldn't have nothing to talk to you about. I probably, personally, if I would have been a regular guy in the world, I probably would have been driving a train somewhere, because I love trains. I would have been a motorman or a conductor, or just driving trains for CSX, or driving New York City Transit trains, or I would have been a police officer, or I would have been a drug dealer. I would have stayed in the drug business, or whatever I've been was doing in the past. I would have did that. But life chose something else for me. The almond beings, those ascendants, chose something else for me, chose another path for me. I could have went to jail. But that wasn't my destination. That wasn't my destiny. Right? I didn't have the free will, because if it was the free will, I'd be driving a train somewhere. But, once I, I filed for the test a few times back in the days, and I always missed it, or something just happened, or, and after a while you just figure, like, you know what, it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. So don't cry over stuff when you crying over your ex or your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend. You talking about, oh, this, that, and the third. I know it might be painful if y'all break up or whatever, but if it's meant to be, it'll come back together. If not, it won't. If it's your destination, if your final destination or time is to come together, then y'all going to come back together. Nothing going to keep y'all apart. But if not, you were meant to move on and meet somebody else. Like, for example, you got women, and here's a perfect example. It's Jill Scott, right? She talked about how she was together with her husband, her first husband, or, her only husband, because I don't think she was married before. She was together with her husband for, like, years, right? For years she was with her husband. Like, maybe 4 or 5 years she was with her husband, right? And she said how, I think they was trying for a baby or whatever, and she never got pregnant from this guy, right? Then she goes and lays up with a drummer, guy by the name of John Scott. I think he's a drummer. He was a drummer for, I forget who he was a drummer for. I forget, but she lays up with a drummer, and she gets pregnant just like that. Why? Because that man was destined to sire her seed. Her seed. He was destined to sire her seed. Her seed wouldn't come down for another man. For the man she was with, wouldn't come down. Wouldn't be fertilized from that man. That man was meant to sire her seed. Now, I'm pretty sure they was having unprotected sex, and she probably wanted to get pregnant, but she couldn't get pregnant. But this other man came and sired the seed with her. That was destiny. Right? That was destiny. That man was meant to be her child's father. Right? I said the people that are going to be in a state of mental, they already marked already. They already got the name of Amen marked in their foreheads already. They're already destined to be part of the state of mental. It's already in them. So now they're just going to physically come here. But I'm going to tell you people this. You people who sit up here and you say, well, I know, brother, I got the mark of Amen on me, but you ain't here physically, then no, you don't got the mark of Amen on you. You're not of the almond race. You are of the humans. You have a human mentality. The people who are here mentally, who claim to be here mentally, will be here physically. They will be members physically. They will be registered members physically. They will be forming communities, mentoriums, as a collective people. They will be registered members of the state of Mentel. They will be mentalists. They will be Mentelians of the Mentelian race. They're already of the Mentelian race, so physically they're going to come. Your mind, or what you think, precedes your physical movement. So that means that you will become what it is you think about. Right? You will become what it is you think about. Whatever encompasses your mind, you will become that. Right? Whatever your mind, no matter what it is, whatever your mind is thinking forward to doing, you will physically follow forward and follow that out. Right? Now, this destination, this destiny that you come about, it starts young. A lot of times it starts young. It starts young in your life. Right? People always talk about things that happen to them in life, destiny, the destination where they end up. Right? They talk about that all the time. You know, if I would have walked down this corner, I would have never ran into this person. Or if I didn't walk down this corner, I would have never ran into this person. Or I would have never met that person. Or I was going to be with that person for a short amount of time, and that person will leave out of my life. Next thing you know, that person, the other person come back in my life. That was all planned. It was all destined. It was meant for them to leave out of your life for that period of time. They might have had to leave out of your life to grow up, teach it, mature, to evolve. They might not come back. Right? That's why I tell people all the time, when people say things to me, I say it's not personal. Don't never take nothing personal with me. It's not personal. It's never personal. You're either of the almond genetic, or you're of the human mentality. The people of the human mentality, I don't want you amongst me. The people who are of the human mentality, you have an individual mindset. You are in the submental world. You're of the submentals. The ones who have the almond genetic, the elect, you think in a pathmatic level. The ones who have the human mentality, you think in a mathematical mindset. These are the people, you know them, these are the people who, you know, when they hear about a movement gathering, right, they ask you, how many people you got? Multiples. They deal with mathematics, multiples. They think that mathematics and great numbers means power. False. False. What is the greatest power is the least bit of people who can house the greatest intelligence or the greatest power mentally, and they can execute it through others. I said 10 people control the whole planet. Remember I said that. They were destined to be the ones that control the planet for a certain amount of time. And when the time comes when they fall out of power, like it will be destined that they will, they're destined to fall out of power as well. When that time comes, right? And another people come back into power, or come into power, a different people. Because that's what this whole evolution was meant to be. Our people going through slavery, going through all the things we do, that was meant to happen. That was ordained by the almond race. That was allowed to happen as punishment. That was allowed to happen by our ascendants. Our ascendants allowed us to go through bondage. Right? And they allowed those of us who are part of their descendancy or their ascendancy to survive. Right? I said, your children decide who their mother and father is going to be. The children decide that, not you. The thought that you have in your head that's generated into your head when you choose a woman to be the mother of your children, that thought is generated by your children in the future. They pick their parents. You don't pick your woman. Because what's the difference between you laying down with her and just having sex with her and not ejaculating up into her and having a child versus that happening and you getting pregnant? That child chose the parents. Right? That child chose the parents. Right? They are already thinking ahead. They're already picking their genetics in the future. They're already predestined. They already had a predestination for themselves. How they fit into the future world. How they're going to breed a people, right, who they'll choose as their parents to come through. It's like picking to them. It's like picking designer cars. It's like picking out cars. Which car you're going to ride in. Which parent or which genetic are you going to ride in on. That's what the whole thing when it says about the sperm, the 7,777,000 sperm, one of them makes it to the ovum. Sometimes maybe 2 or 3, but most of the time only one makes it. Right? That's the one who wanted to be here. He beat the other ones out, and the rest died. There was a race to fertilize that egg. That one who had the highest, that sperm cell that had the highest mental connection toward it, on it, made it to the egg to fertilize because it wanted to be here in this physical world. Whether it was going to function on the submental level or function on the omni-mental level, it wanted to be here in the world. Some are going to be here as super receivers or super conductors to move forward. Others are going to be in a shorter burnout stage, like this brother I was talking about. He was only meant to be temporary, obviously. He was only meant to be temporary, and he burnt out. Because the superconductors, the superchargers are the ones who are going to continue, and they're not going to stop. There's no stop. There's no then what. There's no then what. There's continual. There's time continual, and beyond time, there is no stop. Right? Your destination, right, is preceded by another, by continuous destinations. What are continuous destinations? Points in your life, right? You might hit a certain point in your life, a destination, a destiny, or a point in your life, right, where there is a crossroads and where you develop higher sense. And you cross the path to that point and you move forward to the next destination in your life. Every 10 years is supposed to be a destination in your life. Every decade is supposed to be a destiny point or a destination point in your life where there's supposed to be a change. Those people were not changing, right? These people are not hitting their destiny or their destination. Or they are, I should take that back. They are hitting their destination, but there's no change going on there. So they burn out. They burn out. These are the people that end up getting murdered, killed. You know, you damn, why he died? How he died? There was no more need for him here. No more need for her here. How she get killed and stuffed and, this happened to her? How that brother going to say Malcolm X got shot down and it was destined for him to happen? There was no more point for him being here. I'm not trying to be cruel about Malcolm X or throw him to the side, but once you have outlived your usefulness here, once you've hit your final destination, then that's it. That's it. You got to move on to someplace else. You got to move on to the next destination. But trust and believe, trust and understand. I don't like to use the word believe. Trust and know that you are being moved. You don't have a free will. You are constantly in transit. You are constantly in transit. In the submental world or in the omni-mental world, you're constantly in transit. You're constantly in transition. Some are going to evolve. Some are going to devolve. Some are going to go lower. Some are going to just stay stagnant and go nowhere. This was meant to be the transitional phase. This was meant to be the next destination. The state of mental was meant to be the next destination for a chosen or elect few of people who would come to the next level mentally. Mentallectual community. That was the next destination. This was already laid out. People don't understand this. I'm just following a script. People keep saying, oh, well, brother, what would make me make this up? Same thing with Dr. York when the simple-minded Negroes go, oh, well, brother, he made that up. What would make Dr. York make up all that stuff if he wasn't being utilized for something greater to come? If he wasn't being used as the doorway to something else? If he wasn't being used or he wasn't receiving reception, or Elijah, what made these people be chosen? Right? Somebody chose them. And see, to the jealous Negroes who are not chosen, they can't see that because they're not chosen. Because they don't want to play their role in life. or they don't know they role in life, so they just basically moving along. But that's in your destination too, for you not to know. It's in your destination for you not to know, right? And you're not really trying to find out. Some of you will try, but who you are ultimately always comes out. Who you are ultimately comes out. You can't alter your patterns on who you are. You can't alter it. Just like I can't alter my life. I can't go backwards. I can't go and say I'm going to go drive a train now. I can't go back and deal drugs or pick up guns. I can't do that. I can't do it. Not because I don't want to, and I don't want to, but not because I don't want to, because that's not, something would end up happening where it would prevent me. I already know that. I can't go back. So I got no other choice but to go forward. Right? I got no other choice. Just like that person had no other choice but to go down that road and get in an accident and pass and die. Right? Because it happened. It happened. There's no alternate ending to this story. Because anything, when people talk about, oh, well, you had a choice. Yeah, that's in theory. Yeah, you think you got a choice in theory. It sounds good. In theory. But if you can't show or put up on screen where, well, this would have happened if you would have did this, no, you can't do that. Because that part of the scenario don't exist. There's no alternate picture to this. You went down the road this way. You was meant to go down the road that way. You got shot in your head. That's what was supposed to happen. Right? Because that's what happened. And it wouldn't, can't nobody sit up here and say, because that's spookism. When the 5% of guys say, that's spookism, brother. What's the sense in doing it? Just live your life. Do what you got to do. Go to where you're supposed to go. That's why I tell people all the time, they want to sit up here and get mad at me, talking about, oh, well, brother, you making the black race, personally. No, it ain't nothing personal. I told people, I'm not telling people to change their lives. If you're meant to be here in this in this evolution that we're going through, then fine. If you're drawn to this, then fine. If not, if you want to stay in the revolution, you want to stay in that mentality and things like that, then that's fine too. Stay there. I tell people all the time, I'm not trying to convert the black race. No, stay where you are, because you are where you're supposed to be. Maybe that's your destination. That's your destiny, to just keep shouting red, black, and green over and over and over again. But for the people who are tired of it, I came to the people who were tired. I came to the dissatisfied. That was my destiny, to come to the dissatisfied, to raise up the dissatisfied, the people who've had enough. Many of you have not had enough yet. You understand? I know what my purpose is in life. I'm doing it. I already know what my purpose is in life. What I'm destined to do. I'm already doing what I'm supposed to do. These people who are in a state of rotation, that's your destiny in life. You ain't meant to escape. Just like a lot of the slaves on the plantation, they wasn't meant to leave because their minds were set to be there. They were meant to be slaves. Their minds were set to be there. Can't nobody keep people in bondage who don't want to be there. Hell, people want to give a white man credit for keeping our people in bondage. They didn't keep our people in bondage. They got comfortable. They wanted to be there. They wanted to be there. It was destined for them to be there. The people who didn't want to be there, they weren't going to be there. Whether they had to risk their lives or lost their lives, or like I said, they going to get free. They got free one way or the other, through death into the next world, or they got away. Right? You got certain people who were just born slaves, who going to take that crap, who going to eat the white man's garbage, who going to wear his African titles, who going to come keep reciting the same red, black, and green nonsense. You got certain people that's going to keep doing that. No matter what you show them, no matter what you tell them, you tell them, oh, Africa came from the white man. You can say it over and over again, prove it, back it up. They just going to come back and spell Africa with a K, because they can't move beyond that. That's not in them to do that. Logic, it's not about logic with these people. I had to learn that the hard way. That's why I try not to debate with people. I show people and I explain to people the truth by way of logic, and I leave it at that. You got certain people that want to keep arguing you down and whatnot, and they not going to get it. So because they don't get it, which is me, like I said, it's not meant for you to get it. It's not meant for you. For the people who's meant to get it, the people who see that, the people who are in tune, the people who have that genetic in them, that reception genetic, right? Or what Dr. York just said about the barotheric gland. I'll accept it as a receiver, as a ringer, because he always talked about ringing in the ear. The people that have that receiver in them to pick up the message, that they're destined for that. They're born for that. The people who are born to lead, they're born to do that. Everybody ain't gonna pick up and just lead. Everybody want to be a leader because, like I said, that's the jealousy thing. That's the jealousy thing that kicking in the black man. Okay? Because they not leaders and whatnot. They want to be leaders. They want to be and they want to sit on the seat. But like I said, a lot comes with that. A lot comes with that. Right? Those people who had to be chosen. Those people had to be tried and proven. It ain't no just, I'm a leader. It don't work like that. Like I said, a lot of people mean well, but how many people will actually go through putting the thing together and, going without and, going through struggle and strife and whatnot, having your own so-called people, the people who look like you, they're not really your people, but people who look like you stab you in the back, throw obstacles in your way. Your own family turn their back on you. How many people are going to withstand that and keep going? Only a chosen few. Only an elect few. Only a people, a chosen few who are destined to go through that. The black race ain't built for that. The human race ain't built for that. Our people are not built. The majority of our people are not built to be the elect. They're not the superconductors. They're not the superchargers. The ones who come in the state of mental, y'all are the superchargers. You are the descendants of Amen. You are the Amen race. Right? You ready to be tried and proven. You ready to take orders. You ready to clean your faces up. You sisters ready to clean yourself up and become a living one unimental force. You ready to do that in the name of Amen, as an Amen being, as an Amen and an Ah woman. You can't wait to get from amongst the humans. You don't want to go to their parties. You don't want to smoke their weed. You don't want to drink their liquor. You don't want to sit around and talk about Barack Obama, who's going to be the next president. You're not caught up in this. You don't want to sit around talking about Jesus and Allah and religion. You don't want to go to the next conscious meeting to hear that bunch of Negroes arguing back and forth about nothing. You're not in that. You're not in the world. You in it, I should say, but you're not of it. You're walking amongst these people, but you're not a part of these people. You live in a whole other world, and it was destined for you to live in another world. I'm going to play a little bit of music. We'll be right back. What do I want to play? Like I said, I apologize for starting late, but, business. Love yourself. We'll be right back. It's the same thing in here. Like I said, when I gave the instance on that brother, somebody else waiting to take his place. Like I said, one brother leaves, somebody going to take your spot. That's how it works in the elect. When you are the elect are being gathered in this day and time. The 144,000 are being gathered in this day and time. You leave, somebody going to take your spot. That's it. But that was meant that you was destined to lead. You was destined to be in the world. Remember that song? That's what that song, I was thinking about that song, When the Saints Come Marching In. When the Saints come marching in. Or when the saints come marching in, I want to be in that number. When the saints come marching in. That was talking about the elect coming down to earth. And those people who are on earth, those ones who are going to be chosen, the ones who are going to be picked, the ones who are going to gravitate toward this, they said they want to be in that number when the saints come marching in. Now, I don't know who wrote that song, probably some white man or something, but that was talking about the Amen beings coming here. When the saints come marching in, they refer to them as saints, right? When the saints come marching in, I want to be in that number. The elect, the chosen. Certain people are the chosen are being raised right now in the state of mental. The ones who will be receiving Amun's intelligence here on earth. That's destined to happen. Just like you see that book of Revelation taking place right now, all that's happening, that was destiny. Everything in the book of Revelation is happening right now. All that's destined. The people that are going to be, the people that's hearing this message, they being gathered in this day and time. The Son of Man is here. They're gathering the people in this day and time. It's going to be a lot of the people, the 2/3 of our people. They're not going to be with the evolution. They're not going to come together. They're not going to raise the elect. They're not going to continue. You understand? They're not going to be in the elect. They want to be with the beast. They want to be in the submental world. They want to be, amongst the quote unquote the rest of the black race or the rest of mankind. They want to be doing the same things they do. They want to look like them. They want to act like them. They want to be part of them. I tell people all the time, I say, proof positive. I say, people tell me all the time, they say, oh, brother, you just, like I said, you trying to form a group or a cult or whatever you trying to do. I'm like, really? Really? I said, if that was true, I would just take anybody. Right? I would just take anybody. Black, white, beards, hair on their face. I would just take anybody. That's a religion. The order goes that only the elect, the description of the elect is they will do or follow orders. They will do what they're told. It's in them to do that. That's how you know who the elect is versus who is not. The elect will do what they're told. It will resonate in them because the elect that is spoken about in your book of Revelation are soldiers. Right? They move in a straight line forward in the way of evolution. They are soldiers. They are destined to receive light. They are destined to move beyond this paradigm. Certain people are not. Same way, like I said. You had certain people who stayed on the plantation and they worked and, that was their life. You had certain people that didn't want to stay there. They left. One way or the other, through death or through life. They made it. It was destined for them to leave. They was meant to be chosen and picked out of this life. Same thing when your white businessmen and whatnot came about, like your Rockefellers and your and I acknowledge that to be true because the Amun beings, they choose white people too sometimes. For the time being, they choose them to do their will. It's not the white man that he's doing. He's doing what the Amun beings told him to do. They're being used. They were used to punish you. They were used to they were used to put you in bondage. Right? That's the truth. Also, it wouldn't have happened. They were used. Now, to the simple-minded Negro, he'll go, oh, well, see, you giving them a pass. You saying God preordained them to put us in bondage. Yeah, he did. Actually, because that's what y'all wanted. It was preordained that you would go under the control of these people, that you would lose connection, that you would forget once you started mixing your seed. So there has to be a reaction for the action or the inaction that y'all haven't been doing. Produced a reaction, bondage, slavery. That's what happened. Y'all went under bondage. You went under slavery. That had to happen, right? Till y'all learned your lesson. Till the time would come where it would produce a people, right? Because it was meant for a lot of our people to go into darkness, go into a state of ignorance, blackness, being called black people. It was meant for us to go into that stage of ignorance or darkness till some of us got tired and would wake the hell up, would come into the light, that would be renewed. The people who got tired of stumbling around in the darkness, in the blackness, no real name, no real identity, no real purpose in life, just moving in circles, saying the same things over and over again as a way of insanity. Some people are meant to be insane. Some people are meant to lose their minds. But for the people who are not, that's who this message is for. This message came to save the people who are looking for a way out, who want a way out. You got certain people that don't even know there's a problem. They don't think it's a problem. That's the majority. That's your 2/3. They don't even think it's a problem here. Oh, well, I'm saying, it's like kind of like, you saying like it's a problem. It's not really a problem. I mean, the white man, this and the white man. No, it's you. It's you. It was you from the beginning. It was always you. And it will continue to be you until us who are amongst you get tired. It's destined for us who are amongst you to get tired. Right? It was destined for those slaves who was on the plantation to be like, I don't want to do this no more. I can't do this. I'm not trying to live my life working for these people. And they broke the hell out. And you had the blacks on the plantation that was just like they played their role in life, because you play roles in life. The role you assigned in life is the role you play. Where you go, oh, well, what's wrong with the plantation, brother? Oh, what's wrong with that's the Negro today? What's wrong with being black, African power, brother? What's wrong with it? What's right with it? Y'all been saying that, right? You've been saying it, and ain't nothing happened. Tired of going back and forth about the white man. Tired of that. Some of us are tired of that. Some of us want to move on. Some of us want to pioneer and go on to higher levels. See, in your world, the white man, because in your world, the white man exists still in your world, because y'all got to go back and forth with each other. Y'all counterparts. Y'all going back and forth. But in our world, the world that we're moving toward, the world that we're starting to see, you or him don't exist. We're not going back and forth. We're not playing the black and white game. But that was destined for us to see. And you keep trying to cover up our eyes. A lot of these people come, what's he trying to sell? Anybody trying to sell nothing. Don't listen. I'm talking to the ones who are destined for this. The ones who have met their destination point. The ones who are tired. Talking to the tired ones, the dissatisfied. It was meant for you to be dissatisfied. It was meant for you to want to change. It was meant for you to look one day at these Negroes and be sitting in one of them conscious classes and look at these Negroes and have an epiphany that's popped on in your head and maybe, why am I listening to these guys talk about the same thing over and over again? These niggas just ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing but collecting my money, right? Getting paid, talking a bunch of foolishness like a damn hip-hop battle. Why am I giving these idiots my money? Right? Then you say, let me get the hell out of here. I'm looking for something else. That was meant to happen. That was your gateway into the door. Then you was like, I got to get the hell out of here. Right? That was your part in the picture. That was it. After you fulfilled your piece of the puzzle, it was meant for you to leave out of the gate. I don't begrudge the brother. He played his part in life. He was useful for the time he was useful. But like all conductors or circuits usually burn out. That's why we producing superconductors in the state of Mentel. When them brothers was willing to clean their face off and become members, sisters came, we producing superconductors. We producing super people. We're not producing weak people. We're not producing individuals. We're not producing people who got problems. We're not producing them kind of people who got personal problems. The hell with your personal problem. Fix it. Get over it. Move past it. That's how a strong people survive and move forward in the world. Stop crying. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. We ain't going to feel sorry for you. We either going to man up and move forward as a collective. Nobody's going to sit around and listen to you cry about nonsense. We producing hard people. See, you have to produce a hard people mentally. Hard. You can't produce, in order to produce a strong people mentally, they have to have it in them. It has to be something in them, already born in them, a soldier-like mentality, a mental soldier, to think past these things, to want to come together collectively with their people. Just like you got certain Negroes, like I said, they were born to be black devils. They were born to be black Caucasians. They were born to be negative toward the evolution of their people. They were born to be like that. That's why I don't get mad when these Negroes come and they do what they do. I don't get mad. I shake my head and I be like, well, you doing what you're supposed to do. I tell people, well, they doing what they supposed to do. Crazy Linda, Jarman, all they doing what they supposed to do. She hooting and hollering. I gave her this example. They come in, next thing you know, something don't go right, like always do, and she starts slandering, cursing me out, calling me all kind of names and whatnot, disrespecting me because That's who you always was. You was always a demon. It just came out of you. You was always demented. Right? You was always weak. It just came out of you. The right circumstances bring it out of you. But that was your destination. That was what you was meant to do. Don't know who you are, 111. I'll try to assume that you are out of town caller. 111.
Hi, how are you?
Nope. Goodbye. I already don't like how it sounds. Sound like some nonsense. Got to get rid of you, 111. You have to put your real number up here if you're going to make a real call. So we'll know who's making stupid calls if you are making crank calls, because we're not playing here tonight. We ain't got time to play with no stupidity up here tonight. Right? You call back if you have a real question about free will and destiny. Right? We're not taking crank calls tonight because we're very serious about this. This is for a certain group of people. This is for a certain group of people who are seeking the true answer to free will and destiny. There is no such thing as free will. There is no such thing. You all are marked by a destined place to go. You are all marked. Not taking your number 111, so you might as well stop calling in or call from a number that could be seen. If you don't call from a number that can be seen, then I'm not taking your calls. I ain't got time for games. All right? These things are destined in you. Certain ideas, certain mentality, how far you're going to go in life. It's already destined in you. It's pre-planned in you. It's destined in you. I was watching a special on the men that built America, right? And one of the men that I was watching on Cornelius Vanderbilt, it was a good special on cable. Cornelius Vanderbilt, John D. Rockefeller, they did Andrew Carnegie. These men excelled and became millionaires, and they built transportation. They built up transportation. They built up oil. They built up all these. They built up oil refineries. They're going to be doing Ford. They're going to be doing all these people that brought in or was used as an instrument to bring in these inventions and these technologies, cars, kerosene, gasoline, all this stuff. Gasoline, right? That was a beautiful thing because these people were destined to do that. The almond beings, that advanced race of beings of which we are descendants of, chose them, chose these men. Because Rockefeller was always like, God gave me my money. Yeah, he would be right. He knows almond is God, but he said, God gave me my money. Right? And that man built all these beautiful edifices in the name of almond, though he didn't know. He said God, but, that's fine. It's not about the name. It's about how it got done. These men were utilized for something. They were utilized to bring in something. Right? They were utilized, chosen to bring in something. Right? They were chosen. They didn't make the choice. They were chosen. Just as the elect are chosen. Right? Just as the elect are chosen to be the ones to bring in something in this day and time, these people are chosen. It's not that they're so liked and that they're it's a like thing. It's not no popularity contest. Right? It's not a popularity contest. It's just what it is. Right? Based on these people's genetics, based on these people's how far they're willing to think or ready to think. Stay in your lane. Right? Stay in your lane. It's how far these people are willing to go. What was already bred in them. They were thoroughbreds of their race. They were thoroughbreds. Just like you have thoroughbreds within the so-called black race. So-called thoroughbreds. People who are going to go to a state of evolution, who are going to evolve. Right? People who are going to become a new people. People who are going to come from beyond the stupidity and the ignorance. People who are not going to be sitting around here listening to ignorant hip-hop, smoking blunts. Because that's the look of the black race now. The black race is all kinds of foolishness and nonsense now. People who not taking things seriously in this life. That's what this generation denotes. People who are not to be taken seriously in life because they don't take themselves seriously. They're not going to be blunt smoking. They're not going to be hoe hopping. They're not going to be sitting up here talking about a bunch of nonsense. You understand? They're not going to be popping mollies or whatever the hell these Negroes are doing. They're not going to be part of it. It's going to be a whole new break and a different people. All right? That's real. That's real. Just like you have in every group of people, you have a people who are a supreme representation of their race, of their generation. You have people who are supreme representatives. And then you have the lesser people. Rockefeller, Carnegie, all them guys were supreme representatives of the white race. They were supreme people within the white race. Right? Certain ones of your high-up Jews were supreme people within the white race. You're going to have a supreme people that raise out of the black race. Right? As it's supposed to be. You have supreme people that are raising out of the East Indians. You're going to have smart people. You're going to have star people. People that are chosen to receive reception. People who have a destination, a marker to fill. Right? Right? But we're supposed to be moving on different evolutionary scales. Some are going to move in a straight line. We're supposed to move in a straight line as it was destined or predestined. So it was predestined for us to make our way back, or should I say forward, to this state where we would start receiving this reception because we've been off our path. So it was destined for us. It was destined for 괅ᴇsᴛɪ� to come and raise the people. It was destined for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to come. It was destined for Dr. 괡ᴇᴇᴛɪ� to come. And it was destined for them to go out the way they're going out. And if it's meant for something else to happen, it's going to happen the same way. But nobody has any control over it. Not no man, white, black, blue, purple. Nobody has control over your life. Those almond beings do. Those ones who created your life or manifested your life, they have control. They pull the strings. You have no free will. You are a puppet dancing on strings. Now, either you're going to dance on a higher order, on a higher principality, to a higher principality, or you're going to dance on a lower one. But you will dance. You will walk. You will either walk in circles or you're going to walk in a straight line. See? I walk in a straight line. I answer to a higher authority. 괅ᴇsᴛɪ� answers to a higher authority. Right? I'm governed by a whole different principle. Those in the state, they're governed by a whole different principle. We're not the same as these people. Like I said, it's not to say we better. It's not to try to be better. But it's just a people who are already seated. They're seated entities with something else that gives them a greater reception. It was meant for them to hear the reception. You are a destination point. Each point of your life is a destination point, a destiny point. Make your destiny points. I'm never upset about people who make their points in life. They tell you all the time when you talking about something, what's your point? Make your point. What do they mean by that? Get to the point. Say what it is you're trying to say. Spit it out. Live your life the way you're supposed to live it. Don't get in the way of others. I don't get in the way of others. That's why I don't understand, like I said, the people, live your life. If you want to be into this, you want to be into that, that's fine. I'm not telling people that's instead to change your life. I'm not a reformer. I'm a receiver, not a reformer. I'm a receiver. Not a reformer, I'm a receiver. And those people coming with me are receptors. That's it. Our lives should not be intertwined with yours. It's not our destination or our destiny to be intertwined. That's why I'm not interested in things that go on here in the society. I'm not interested in politics. I'm not interested in racism. I'm not interested in black and white. I'm not interested in religion. I'm not interested in being a black leader. I'm not interested in that. It's not my interest. I'm not interested in the black and white thing. I'm not interested in clown foolishness and nonsense. I'm not interested. I'm interested in one thing and one thing only, that is raising the mentality of the bright race, finding the bright race and raising them collectively. You don't have to get it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to take it. You're like, oh, that sounds crazy. What is this? A church or whatever. Who cares? Is it a cult? Whatever. You don't have to accept it. It's not for you. It's not put out here for your approval. We're not trying to meet your approval. Right? We're not trying to meet your approval. You have a point where you're destined to be, and so do we. We're just trying to make our points. We're trying to hit our marks in life. We're just trying to make our marks and hit our points in life, be what we're supposed to be. That's it. Right? We're trying to form that bridge, right? A straight bridge forward for our people. It is my destiny to promote that in our people. Right? I accept my destiny in life. If I die tomorrow, I accept that. And what else can I do? If you fall off of a building, if you fall in front of a train, you know what I'm saying? I accept that. You know what I mean? If it's meant for me to go out in the street night and it's gunfire and I get hit and I'm out of here, that's it. As hard as that for people to accept, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let us alone while we live out our lives. We're trying to live our lives. We don't want to be in conflict with anybody's life. I don't want to be in conflict with anyone's life. I don't want to be in conflict with anyone's life. I'm not interested in being in conflict with anybody's life. Right? Live and let live. That's the mentality I have. Right? That's the mentality I have. Right? I'm going to play a little bit of music. We'll be right back. March 31st, channeling the solar mind through the third eye. The channeling of the solar mind through the third eye. That is a almond frequency that's enabling us to do that. That's going to enable our people to do that. That is an almond frequency that we're setting. All right? We'll be right back. People will always make ignorant comments. But like I said, that's in you to do. I really don't pay attention anymore because just like you have, people, as you're trying to raise in frequency, and I tell people, remember this all the time, as you're trying to raise in frequency, you're always going to have the weak ones that try to pull you back. And if it's in you to answer or pay attention to that or answer their call, then that's on you to perish with these people. It's on you to stay in that level where you are with these people. It's on you in that level to stay where you are with these people. There's no evolution for those people. So therefore there's no evolution for you. There's no forward motion for you. We going through in this world as people who are trying to receive. Like I said, it's more people that stand in the way of our evolution than those who want to stand in the way of the evolution than those who want to be a part of the evolution. That's always going to be like that. These people were destined to be like that. Like I said, it ain't just white people that come up here and say negative things, or it's black people too. They're the same. It's the same thing. It's two sides of the same coin. Same people, black and white, same thing. Right? The separation is the bright race. Right? They're bothered. You got trust me. Just like you had in that movie, The Django, where you had the black man who wanted to keep the bondage thing going, and they would help and fighting to keep the bondage going, keep our people in slavery. You got a lot of black people who are just like that today. But that's all destined to be. It's spoken about in your book of Revelation. That's destiny. They're destined to be like that. That's why I don't try to change the minds of people. I say all the time, don't try to change nobody's mind. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. Convince you ain't got to like what I say. Don't listen. I don't see why people waste their time trying to curse me out and say and hate the things I say. I'm like, it's not for you. This is an exclusionary group. We exclude people here. This is an exclusionary group based on intelligence. Right? This is an exclusionary group based on intelligence. It's not based on color. Because I said we don't take every black person in here. Because we knew at the time, I knew starting out, that it would be destined for the people. It would be destined that a lot of our people wouldn't be part of what we're doing. It tells you about the 2/3. It tells you about the elect, right? It tells you about the elect in your revelation. Where's everybody else? The elect are the people who are strong enough mentally, who are destined to be strong enough mentally to endure all of this. Endure the chastisement, endure the being slandered, endure the, things that they endure. I had an idiot coming from Carbon Radio who said, "Oh, well, explain how Dr. York got, accused of child molestation and whatnot and having sex with young girls." And I'm like, if you're stupid enough to believe that Dr. York went to jail, that's why they sent him to jail, then you need to go sit down somewhere, because you were destined to be ignorant. Carbon Radio. Because that's what you wanted to believe. That's in your mind to believe something stupid like that. Man got more children, had more children and more women in a little bit, but he needed to molest young girls. Come on, are you serious? But it's destined in you to be a demon like that. It's destined in you to slander somebody who worked and do nothing but work to raise the mentality of our people. It's destined. Because you, like I said, majority of you Negroes, like I said, it's destined for you to have that negative genetic in you. It's destined for you to tear down quote-unquote black leaders. It's destined for you to do that. And you the same Negroes that was tearing down Elijah Muhammad. You the same Negroes that was tearing down Berry Gordy. But that's what Negroes do. That's what black people do. You tear down bright people. Because you hate the fact the light doesn't shine in you, that you're out here doing nothing for our people. You out here not raising the intelligence. You up here trying to weigh the intelligence down. You really think that that's why that man went to jail? Right? Then it's meant for you to be simple-minded, ignorant. And it's not even an insult, but that's how you are. Because, like I said, any thinking person know that was a setup. That was a setup. But that's how it was meant to go down. And that person, like I said, he's okay with that, obviously. He's free. He's okay. He'll be fine. Like I said, he put his work in. And he's continuing to put his work in. He's more productive in jail than you Negroes are out here in the street who doing radio shows and this conscious crap. That man's still being productive. And you guys is half his age and you out in the world and you ain't doing a damn thing to raise the intelligence of your people. Don't give me no crap about, what he did or what you think he did. You wasn't even there. But like I said, that's the hate in you Negroes. You were destined to have that hate. You the same Negroes that keep coming back and incarnating in this submental state. You was the Negroes that was hating on the slave plantation. You was the Negroes that was hating on Elijah Muhammad. You was the Negroes that helped sell our people into slavery. Y'all, that same mentality keeps coming back and back and back. And you the same Negroes that's going to hate on what we doing in the bright race. It's in you. Right? Own it. Accept it. That's fine. Just like we own who we are, we own who you are. Own that you a black devil, that you a demon. Own it. It's in you to do that. It's in you to tear down anything that's about the evolution of our people. It's in the majority of these Negroes, these black Caucasians, these ones who talking about black power and all this. And don't fall for the black power talk. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for it. They about keeping the ignorance of our people going. They about putting out the light. They like how things are. They the slaves on the plantation. Because the slaves on the plantation, they kept the thing going. They lived pretty decent. The master let them have. They choose a woman. Probably someone was sneaking in the hen house having sex with the white woman, the mistress of the house. They could cut up chicken and eat chicken from time to time. They like how things are. They don't want things to change. It's in them to be like that. So don't be put off by these people. Don't think, you could reach these people. There's nothing you could do to reach these people. It's destined for them to be like that. It's their destiny. They don't have any free will. You can't change their mind. That's why I stopped trying. No matter how much you get it, but they don't. Well, brother, maybe you ain't saying it a certain way. Can you help me out? No, I can't help you. I can't. Stay where you are. That's the best thing I could tell you. You're not trying to really hear me. You want to try. The whole thing is you want to disrespect and disprove somebody. You want to go back and forth arguing because that's in you to do. It's in you to be mischievous. It's in you to be an individual. It's in you to promote disunity and cause confusion. It's in you. That's who you are. You're not here to promote unity. 480, you're on air.
Yeah, I'm about to call yesterday. It was like 2 minutes left.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I heard you mention something about the dreads, and I have dreads, but like mine ain't real tight on my roots or whatever. So I was wondering, like, why'd you say like dreading your hair is like a bad thing?
Well, because our people are not supposed to, because you're forcing your hair down. Our hair is supposed to naturally grow up. That's why your hair at a certain point breaks off. When you have dreads like that, what that's doing is you're forcing dead hair down against the natural order of it, which is supposed to grow up. That's what makes us different from everybody else. Our hair is supposed to naturally grow up and break off. Anything that you're hanging on to, or you're using beeswax, whatever you're using to keep that dead hair suspended going down, that's going against the natural growth of your hair.
Right, I understand. But see, mine, like, they're real short. Mine grow up towards the heavens, though. It's like towards the sky. They ain't dropped yet. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like, when they get long, they're going to drop down. But I know you talking about, like, people who manipulate their hair, like, twist it real, real tight to the root. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I just like, wash it and, like, leave the roots real loose. It's like almost like it's like free form. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's fine.
Freeform may be cool.
I mean, that's what you want to do. Like I said, that's fine. I mean, we wear our hair in a natural, like I said, either low or we wear it no longer than 3 inches. That's what we do in the state of Mentel. As far as everybody else,
okay.
You know, we wear our hair like in a soldier type of cut. We wear our hair in a military soldier style cut because military people are supposed to be disciplined people, and a person who is disciplined, a person who is disciplined in his appearance, because like I said, we're trying to create a mental soldier, so we have people who have a disciplined look to them. They don't have long hair, they don't have facial hair. We have a disciplined military look to us, as we did in the ancient world. We wasn't the people with today's military get the look of short crew cuts or whatever the case may be, and no facial hair. That came from our people in ancient Egypt and places like that, because we had that look first.
All right, and to be honest, you know what I'm saying, it's been within me and myself to like cut my hair and get like a little miniature afro. Like, it's just been in me. It's like the whole feeling is better. It's more cleaner type feeling. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you on that though. It is like it's better that way.
Then do it.
Yeah, I should, you know, so I just be trying to stay out of the barber salons and everything. I be thinking, you know, it's a lot easier, but, you know, it is more of a decent look. It ain't as wild, you know.
Yeah, well, you just said it yourself. Like I said, our people, our people supposed to have a clean cut look because we were the first clean cut people. People keep thinking that whole clean shaven and low cut come from the white man. It comes originally from us. We was the ones that didn't have we didn't grow no facial hair. We didn't get that until we started mingling with the other races of people. And I said on Facebook, I said the reason why our people, you know, facial hair and all that's not natural to our people, because if it was, then the facial hair would grow up in the air, which would be impossible. But if our facial hair is growing down on our face, then that means that was a mixing in. You know, it makes sense for everybody else, like the white man, the Eastern, all of them to grow hair down because their hair grows down. Our hair is not supposed to be growing on our face because, like I said, if it was natural, it would grow up in the air like our hair on our heads, but it don't.
Yeah, I agree because I was once with the Hebrew Israelites, and they used to push that, you know, man, got to have the facial hair, the beard, and all that. You know,
yeah, they got that from the white man. They want to say it came from some order from God and whatnot. They ain't come from no God, because the Greeks and the Romans and the Hittites, they was wearing beards and stuff like that. And when you see pictures of ancient Egyptians, when people talking about they had facial, no, they didn't. They was wearing fake beards. They would wear fake beards because they were trying to intimidate the Hittites and all those other people who they were fighting against. So they were trying to emulate their look. So they wore fake beards. They didn't have facial hair. But the Romans and them, when they first came, they had facial hair because, like I said, they grow hair all over their face like animals and whatnot. They started shaving their face to emulate the Egyptians. So we are the original clean-shaven people, the electrified people, because as the electrified people, the people who have that elasticity and that electrical current going through our body, that solar current going through our body, we're not supposed to really have facial hair anyway. That's why electrical razors was made to shave our face. We notice we can't shave with straight razors and things, but we get bumps and the fact that we get bumps that curl, ingrown hair that curl under our skin is a sign that hair is not naturally supposed to grow under there.
So no mustache, no beard, none of that.
I mean, no, we don't wear that. Like I said, that we didn't have that originally. We didn't wear that kind of stuff. We didn't wear none of that stuff. Like I said, we are dealing with an efficient look and an original look where our people didn't have no facial hair.
So the facial hair came from like mixing in with different bloodlines, you say?
Yep.
Dang.
You look at the ancient Nubians and the ancient, some of the Africans and the ancient Nubians and all of them, they didn't have no facial hair. The majority of them didn't have no facial hair. Like I said, it wasn't until we start mixing in with these people, these other races, that's when that facial hair came about.
So as far as like mixed bloods, like they say, you got like, you got mixed races like white and black races. You know what I'm saying? They produce children. Like, do you think like they are, as far as like the almond race, you think they're influenced by the almond race?
Well, it depends on them. I mean, everybody on some level. You know what I'm saying? Some people more than others. Everybody on some level is influenced by them because either you're part of the creation of those almond beings or you're part of the manifestation of the bloodline. So those ones who are of the manifestation, they are the ones who are direct bloodline descendants of the almond beings, the ones that came here and laid with the women that they made. They're the ones that are the natural ascension that's waking up today. Then you got those who are of the creation who mix with the created people. That puts them further away from the almond genetic.
Dang. Yeah, because my girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, she's mixed, and she's the one who brought me to your blog talk, and I've been listening to it for a while now, and I really vibe with it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can feel what you're saying because I can tell it's not no cult, it's not no religion. Like, it's all about getting people to think. It's all about stimulating the mental, and I vibe with that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I said, maybe that whatever obviously came out in your girl, that almond genetic came out in her and got her to start listening because maybe her connection might be purer than the people with two black parents. Sometimes it come out like that.
Right? Because she
obviously it's destined for her. So. Huh?
Yeah, because she, like her blood type, she's O positive, you know what I'm saying? So,
okay, there you
like
go.
I seen her papers and all that. But, yeah, so she got that's the royal bloodline right there.
Yeah, yep. Our bloodline is usually O positive and AB, that's our blood type, so.
Right.
Yeah, she, like I said, obviously it came out of her, that O positive blood type, it came out of her. That's my type too. So.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, so she's meant to receive. I mean, she's meant to be a receiver. Some of our people got a lot of mixed blood and stuff like that. A lot of them, they got the blood of the created ones in them. That's why they do what they do. They go against what our people are trying to do. They going against the evolution. They no different than the white man.
Right, like you said, trying to keep the ignorance going.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
Because when intelligence overrule the planet, there's no ignorance cannot survive. Therefore, they have no reason to exist.
Exactly. And like I said, there'll always be a submental and there'll be an omni-mental above that. Like I said, so above and so below. But like I said, there's going to be a lesser. You said there's going to be some people in the state of the submentals who are moving amongst the submentals, but they're not connected to the submental state. Some of our people are going to be connected, others won't. We're raising the ones who not.
Man.
All right, brother. So we got like 9 minutes left. You have any other questions or anything?
Yeah, now my last question is like recently, like when I tuned in, you talking about free will and how like free will is really you being entranced or whatever. I kind of vibe with that because like sometimes it feel like if you like to meditate and to be, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that comes from like other religions because really don't really make sense to be still all the time. Like I'm about being still, being cool, but like just being like you push like with inside, it's like a force, like it's meant to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Like you can feel it. It's like I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like you gotta. It's like you being pushed by something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is to move forward. Cause like we know about like California, as far as like an earthquake coming or whatever. Like Cali's supposed to get it big or whatever. So we recently moved, and like no longer than 2 weeks later, Cali have a 5.1. You know what I'm saying? Like, bam, just like that. And now it's like a video talking about how 10,000s and 10,000s could die in like LA, and that's right where we came from. It's like a little methane leak and the tectonic plate shifting. So like I feel like that right there was that push from the almond mental or the almond beings or whatever to get us away from that chaos.
Well, if that's your, that's a sign where you're supposed to survive. That's your children in the future that's talking to you. That's your children sending you signs. If people talking about their ancestors, they ain't no ancestors. That's your ascendants. Your grandchildren. They're sending you messages because if you don't survive, they don't survive.
Right.
They're sending you messages. There ain't no spookism or nothing like that. They're sending you messages. They're already in existence. They're already living in the future. They're the ones that send you messages and generate images into your head. They're the God race, or the almond race, I should say, not the God race, but the almond race, those omni beings, or those high-thinking, high-frequency beings that are sending you messages. They've learned how to send messages into the past. They're that advanced. They at that point where they're advanced and they're still advancing, and you're supposed to be in a line of evolution with them. Okay.
Yeah, that's deep right there. I feel it.
It's real. It's very real. Some of our people who not getting it, they mad. That's why they coming up here. They they doing what they doing. They saying what they saying because it's not happening for them because their ascendants haven't made it. Their ascendants burn out after a while. So it is what it is. All right.
Right.
All right. So I gotta go, brother. I gotta answer these questions.
All right.
Thanks for calling in, brother. You and your lady take care. All right.
All right, thanks.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, let me answer these questions before I get out of here. Let me see. It's been a hectic night. I'm glad those of you hung out with me. All right? Glad you hung out with me. And, like I said, I apologize for the late start, the 10 o'clock start. Do people really have free will, or are they controlled by destiny? Yes, you are controlled by destiny, right? Even when you think you're making a choice in life, whatever choice you make and you change change your mind, it's destined for you to change your mind. Whichever road you travel on, that's the road you meant to travel on. Whatever road you chose to go on later, that's the more road you was meant to travel on then. Right? Free will's an illusion. Somebody is always a higher principality controlling what you do. Those omni beings. Someone's always controlling what it is you do. Because like I said to the people who think you got free will, if you got free will, like I told the brother, the 5%, if you got free will, you get your people out, then you free to get your people out of the condition they in. But if you're not doing it, obviously you are part of a destination or a destined place where you're going to live your life till you on a certain level, and then you're going to pass out. That's it. You're not meant to alter or help alter the lives of your people, obviously, because you're doing things in circles. The people who are moving outside the circle are meant to be part of the alteration. All right? Is destiny short for destination? Yes, it is, because you're destined to end up in a certain place. Everybody's destined to end up in the same place. We're not all supposed to end up in the same place. All this nonsense about, we just coming from different places and we're going to end up in the same place. No, we're not going to end up in the same place. Some people are going to be in the submental state in this world here, locked in this world, and you got others who are going to ascend this world by way of their genetic. They're almond genetic, or those people who are going to move on beyond this world. You're going to have people going to think faster, move faster. Hell, the people that live next to you, who walk next to you every day, they live in different worlds. Understand, certain people live in different worlds. The Jewish community, that's a different world. The Irish community, that's a different world. The Italian community, that's a different world. So you're going to have a race of people, the so-called black community, that's a different world altogether. So it's going to be another world that's coming out, and they're going to move beyond that. It's going to be a intellectual community or a bright community coming. So those are different worlds that are they're moving side by side, but they're not the same, right? It's all about a destination. Where you in, destiny is short for destination, where you end up in the world, or where you end up in life, or where you're headed. Is free will a mental choice? No, it is not. There's no such thing as free will, right? You are being manipulated. And what you have to decide is, are you being manipulated on a lower level or on a higher level? If I got my choice, like I said, I'll take the high road. I'll take the high road. I'll take the manipulation from my ascendants because they know what's best for me, and I'm trying to align myself with my ascendants. the advanced ones, the almond beings. I'm trying to align myself with my ascendants, my children, my great-grandchildren. Those are the ones who are pulling for me. You Negroes, y'all ain't pulling for me. Y'all want to stay in the circle. So they pulling me out of the circle, so I'm listening to them. I'm not listening to y'all. And those of you who coming along with us in the state of mental, listen to your ascendants, because that's who's calling you out of this circle. I'm gonna prove it to you. You know what? When we giving out these flyers, the funny thing is, a lot of times a woman is walking by, people are walking by with their children, and their children come up and take the flyers. They're like, ooh, 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 and they run up and take the flyers. And the parents like, oh, like, you know, so it's not meant for the parents, it's meant for the children. So they might skip them and go over to their children. Their children might come to this later on in life. They be like, oh, I saw that flyer and they stayed with me, and they come to it later on in life. So the seed was planted. It was meant for their children to run up and take the flyer, and they wasn't going to get it. Right? Are people under the control of a greater order on earth? Yes, you are. You are following another order that's taking place here. Like I said, so above, so below. You're following something else. You're following another destination. This planet is moving in a destination towards something. Right? It's moving in a destination towards something. Your lives are moving in a destination towards something. Some is moving in rotation and whatnot, but like I said, you hit destiny points in your life for a reason. Right? Some people are going to wake up and evolve on that next level. Some people are not. Right? Well, where does free will take people in the future? Nowhere. Right? Free will, like I said, is an illusion to get you to believe that you're making choices in life, when the people that are trying to get you, while they're trying to get you to believe that, they're pushing all the choices into your damn face. They push metaphysics in your face. They push Islam. They push Christianity. They push whatever, all these things into your face, Freemasonry, whatever you follow. They push it, Moorish side. All this stuff is pushed into your face for a reason. All right? So that is it. We got like 90 seconds to go. It seems kind of pointless to play some music, but I'll try to tough it out. I want to close out with some music. Yeah. So I am the intellectual Nuben Menkarayzz. This has been State of Mental Radio. Good night.
It's the Republic of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the white race. If it's hell, I'm in, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that we can do.